corruption was that political leadership of the country eludes the Igbos. The Igbos have not been able to be part of the political leadership of the country since 1966 till date. It is an eyesore. It is, let me say, deprivation of the highest order. It is a hyper marginalization method against Igbo man that the Fulani, the Yoruba, the Hausa and the rest of them have been ruling Nigeria for over how many years now, and Nigeria has not been able to become a good country, a place to be.
Only Finland has summoned the ambassador for Nigeria. The book of IBB has revealed many things against the Igbos, which the book has in circulation. Even there's a pressure from the north. They are telling Babangida to ban the book so that further release of the book should be on hold, because the book is reaching all the nations, and many nations now are now sympathetic to the Biafran people, that the genocide of the civil war and the coup was not the fault of the Igbos. If you are watching, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, on notifications, drop your comments, like and share, and watch all of our former videos for more information. Mr. Ralph, Finland has now summoned the Nigerian ambassador. We want to see you over the case of Simon Ekpa, because his people are not the cause of the civil war, and they did conduct the military coup. There is more. How does that come to you, sir?
There is much international sympathy, going on all around the globe in favor of Igbo man, bordering on the book released by IBB recently. It was actually discovered that the coup was all Nigerian coup. It wasn't particularly for Igbo man. The Igbo man were killed, the whole military officers in the barracks across Nigeria in their large numbers. I could remember a pregnant wife of a particular soldier from Igbo extraction, as a result of, let me say, a high moral and respect in the military, he shot his wife. No, he shot his husband. His husband killer was his husband's brother. What a pity. Colonel Unebu was shot in the presence of his wife, pregnant wife, by a military officer who happens to be his immediate junior brother. That is the kind of respect they have within the military hierarchy. So the book written by IBB, the former military head of state of this country, has actually vindicated the entire Igbos that the genocide of 1967, 68, 69, 70 was for nothing. The Igbos have been vindicated. This is attracting international sympathies from all European countries, American countries, Asians, and even Australia. They have now begun to ask questions. There should be compensation, reparation if care is not taken. But the question now is that, can Igbo man take anything, material or otherwise, for compensation? Is the current quest for emancipation of Biafra or secession of Biafra or ceding away from Nigerian country not what is paramount or tantamount in the mind of the Igbos? I think secession, ceding away, emancipation of Biafran nation is what Igbo man needed now. We don't need compensation, we don't need reparation. Igbo man being in his own region, his own nation, is what is very, very paramount in the minds of the Igbos. The killings of 1967 was based on the fact that a coup that was staged was orchestrated or planned by a particular region in Nigeria. They went after that region and made sure that they actually killed over 6 million people. 6 million Igbos were killed by a Nigerian military clique led by Colonel Gowon, sponsored by British government under a particular prime minister in Britain then from 1967 to 1970. I know the name of the man, but I couldn't remember it. Very soon I will say work on my research to find out his name. He sponsored the killings, he sponsored Nigerian military clique, supplied them with arms, and actually it was obvious a genocide was going on then, and which made an Irish man, an Irish admirer, Igbo admirer, and a good Samaritan. So someone, a martyr, he died for the Igbos. By what? Pouring petrol, gasoline on his body in front of United Nations Secretariat, New York. He ignited lighter and flame engulfed this man. This man committed suicide. He died. So what am I trying to say? It attracted international sympathy then. The way Kwachoko malnutrition actually exterminated the entire Biafran children in 1960s, and this time around, the persecution that is going on within Nigeria contraption was that political leadership of the country eludes the Igbos. The Igbos have not been able to be part of the political leadership of the country since 1966 till date. It is an eyesore. It is, let me say, deprivation of the highest order. It is a hyper marginalization method against Igbo man that the Fulani, the Yoruba, the Hausa and the rest of them have been ruling Nigeria for over how many years now, and Nigeria has not been able to become a good country, a place to be. Meaning that the leadership of these tribes, at least aforementioned, are very, very fallible, incompetent, clueless leadership, while the Igbo man is still stepping aside watching. And this time around, exoneration, vindication has come through a book written by IBB. It is too obvious that the reason for that coup of 1966 was for a Yoruba man to become Nigerian president. And actually, you've seen what Awolowo later did to the Igbo in 1970.
Now, as we are closing, then the question is just simple and straightforward. How did Igbos were able to rise after the bad news of the Civil War? They gave them 20 pounds. I don't want to read in history. But then they are now buying houses, they are building houses, they have traveled all across the world. How were they able to manage that 20 pounds? And that 20 pounds became a very big amount of money.
It was a great miracle. It is a story that nobody could actually tell, so fervently or perfectly. What took place amazes all humanity. Even the Igbos were, generally astounded. It was a great bewilderment that after 1970, Awolowo gave all of us 20 pounds, and before 1976, they had been able to build houses, to buy houses at Enugu GRA. I mean brick houses, built and managed by the British. Everywhere at Ogbete Crescent, Enugu GRA, were bought still by the same Igbo man. As I'm talking to you, in 1996, 1974, 75, we've been able to secure one at Enugu GRA. As I'm talking to you, all Enugu GRA were bought largely by the same Igbos. This success, this kind of story of breakthrough still remains a miracle to the sight of anybody that listens. Within a space of 50 years, Igbos have not only dominated Nigerian country, but outside Nigeria, all over the continent of Africa, even extended to Europe and Asia. When you talk about entrepreneurship and business, we see that the most prolific entrepreneur today in our world is Tony Elumelu. Tony Elumelu is of Igbo extraction from Delta States. And you can talk about Hubert Wigwe, the sole owner of Access Bank that died of plane crash last year, is of an Igbo extraction, I think, from River State. The Igbos, after the war, they stood up to their feet again and started their, domineering, let me say, not attitude, but domineering in all facets.
Another Fulani man has been tipped to replace President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to 2031. That's the political settings. And we find that segment that they are grooming Nuhu Ribadu, who is the NSA, as a officer, to replace Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2031. Now, where is the place of the Igbos in all these things? Does it mean that the Igbos have no future in Nigeria? If you are watching, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel, all notifications, drop your comments, like and then share with others. Mr. Kinedu, is there no future for the Igbos? Nuhu Ribadu is the next president after Bola Ahmed Tinubu, according to the APC calculation, which El-Rufai made yesterday at Arise Television. What are your opinions?
Yes, if you look at what El-Rufai has been saying of recently, that it was Bola Ahmed Tinubu that stopped his ministerial nomination, that it wasn't the National Assembly. And secondly, that the issue of whether he's leaving APC to PDP is nobody's business, that he will decide wherever he's going to go at the end of the day, But if you look at all the calculation based on the recent arrangement with Wike over the South-South caucus meeting, where he claimed that, that Wike is in charge of the PDP South-South, even though he's overseeing the APC. And then secondly, if you look at what is already building up close to a coalition of the opposition, and you begin to see what the National Security Advisor to the President, what he stood for, what can actually be factored in. Nobody has no political image when it comes to playing politics within Nigeria. And Nihuribadu can be seen as somebody who is being factored in a political arrangement just to balance a political agenda or equation, or to give regionalism or federal character a presence in the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the government too. But let me tell you what Nigerians should understand about El-Rufai at this point in time, given the latest revelation. El-Rufai is possibly can be a tool, can be planted by, can go into agreement with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. You can see the level of campaign, how support he gave Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to the extent they were traveling over the world, traveling all over the country with the same El-Rufai. Somewhere along the line, it can be agreed. He might be collecting his money behind the scene from Bola Ahmed Tinubu and infiltrate. They want to use him as a tool to infiltrate, as an informant in the mold of the opposition merger or coalition that's already going on. So the PDP and the Labour Party and SDP and other opposition parties who are having the plan of coming with a more powerful force to fight for 2027 presidential election should be careful with the likes of El-Rufai.
Where is the future of the Igbos in all these things?
Let me tell you, the balkanization of Nigeria is what is going to attack the system itself. The continuation of propagation will give the Southeast the massive support to liaise with the Yorubas to dismantle anything that has to do with Northerners completely, and that will lead to final disintegration of Nigeria. Let me tell you very clearly that at this point now, the power cannot go back to the North, and there's no how El-Rufai will come out and begin to campaign for another Northern president. But what the calculation all over the place, from my findings, Angu Abdullahi, from the Northern Elders Forum, Ariwa Consultative Forum, Pandel, Afenifere, and other, even Middle Belt Forum, Elders Forum, yes, has also come together and said that if the burden of APC continue beyond 2027, that they are going to field another candidate that is not Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the South. That's the general consensus, that's the general understanding, that's the general sentiment now. And it is going to be the way it is. I am telling you now, there's no way you are going to have another Northerner as president from if Tinubu failed to win the election. But what you're going to see is that the structural collapse of the political parties to a Southern candidate. That's what we are going to see at the end of the day. And already they are looking at this direction because there is tension in the North currently now. The tension has to do with the revelation of how to ban the book written by IBB at the moment, because that book has, dismantled so many structures that are tied to an entity that has refused to work. So they might be sitting out conveniently now. There might be emergency meeting here and there on how to, patch up Nigeria, at the end of the day, by making P2B the next president of Nigeria from Southern extraction. It might not be possibly an Igbo thing. It might not be possibly, people looking at it from that angle. The possibility of having a failed president of Southern extraction has triggered the emergence and support and reliance of another Southern president of Southern extraction. And the whole thing is that the Nigerian masses, the youths, and of course other reliable groups of importance and relevance are championing that it is too much wickedness on the side of the Igbo, and it is time for the Igbo to actualize president. But even at that, because it is a topic we are treating, how it has come to that level. But I can tell you that the spirit of the Igbo people has left Nigeria for a very long time. It is going to be a mere cosmetic propaganda on the side of fielding and a certain president from Igbo extraction. But the one understanding the Northerners are having at this point in time is very clearly stated, from the body languages of Atiku Abubakar, who the PDP has made it very clearly to him that he will not be allowed or advised to step down or continue to seek for the candidacy of the People's Democratic Party ahead of the 2027 presidential election. I can tell you, Atiku is going to hit to that, wise talk, and look at it that I needed to build a capacity from behind and be able to give that selfless statesmanship service politically to others who knows that there's always an error in everything, and that an era of transformation, of leadership, of transformation, of integrity in terms of leadership is what Nigerians need at this point in time, come 2027. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not going to be an option. I think anybody reasonable, unless the man might want to decide on his own to fight with his money, to make sure he buys everybody with his money. And of course, the Igbos are not tired of this so-called Nigeria, because end of the day, even if I have confirmed that Anu Ribadu is the next president after Buhari, after President Ahmed Tinubu, the Igbos are saying, no, we are tired of this contraption. Give us our Biafra, we are tired of Nigeria. Do you think that the Igbos are now right in saying, let's leave this part? Yes, to an extent, and Nigeria knows that they are also tired. Nigeria is itself as a nation is also tired. The Yorubas are tired. The Hausas are under the influence and conquest of the Fulani. So whatever Fulani decide for them, they will forever colonize the Hausas. The middle belt will decide whether to join Biafra or to join North. That is left for them. That is the way it is now. It has been structured. Biafrans are not going to rush into sovereignty, of Biafra as a nation. Has to be carefully planned, with the international community, because you cannot predict what is going to happen tomorrow. Look at the Sahel. What a wonderful question, the anchor of this good platform. First and foremost, I want to say, Simon Ekpa has come out to say, or has outlined countless times, that he said that the Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun for the second time. Now when he said that, see, Nigerian government cannot win Biafra with a barrel of gun, it means that nobody needs to die for them to exit Nigeria. Now, Ojoku fought Biafra in a different dimension. Now, nnamdikanu did it via his own dimension. So Ekpa is taking it globally. And now, we've seen world body recognize Biafra. We've seen the UN and then some other global body have come out to endorse the Biafra struggle. So kudos to him, it is a plus. Some persons have come out to say that Simon Ekpa should be discredited, the likes of Igbo and that of the Southeastern governors. But my question is that you said Simon Ekpa should not be taken serious. Then who should be taken serious? The government who is not willing to protect our people? Is it the people who have refused to speak up when the Igbo man has been marginalized in the country? Is it is it the same governors who have become a tools in the hands of their Fulani master? So for you to even have a character like Simon Ekpa and nnamdikanu to have come out to say enough is enough, that we are tired of this contraption called one Nigerians. It shows that these people have this mindset that see they can no longer be the slave. So for him to have even gone as far as to hire lobbyists that will speak on behalf of Biafra in the world in the UN summit, to me it's a plus, and that alone the voice of Biafrans will be heard globally, and the voice of an Igbo man is also being heard globally. Now let me take it back the line. When Southern Sudan and South Sudan wanted parted ways, nobody killed each other. Nobody go through the route of violence. It was done amicably. So Simon Ekpa is doing it amicably for him to convince world leaders that this thing is possible, and why the government of the day, the present government of Nigeria, are not seeing it that way. Thank you. You can also
to the government, to the Nigerian government be worried about this?
Why would they be worried? The same people have sent assassins to kill Simon Ekpa. Now only he has escaped. So see, one thing about